So we are back and we're going to continue our work with scatter plots. And we're going to kind of start analyzing the type of data that we have. So today we're going to be looking at a scatter plot and looking at any clusters, outliers, that should say gaps, not outliers, clusters, gaps, and strays. I'm going to fix that. Um, in our scatter plots. So these should be words that we've heard last year, and we are going to be applying them to scatter plots now. Okay, so if you remember, a cluster is when there is a big group of points together. So if you, as you guys can see in the two circles here, those would be considered clusters because there's a lot of points together. And then we have gaps, which are unfortunately where there are no data points or very, very little data points. Like if there was only one data point in here, that would probably still be considered a gap. So gaps are where there are little or no data points. And we can see here in the red, the gap falls between 3 and 6.5 for the x values. And then you can even actually kind of say that there's a gap between like 5 and 7 for the y values too. Stray values, they're strays or outliers is what we also call them. One of these things is not like the other. They are far away from the other data points or don't really fit in. All right, so this graph represents the ages and heights of people in a classroom. So as we can see here, it's asking us to identify any clusters and outliers. There's a big cluster here, and that cluster goes between the ages of 10 and 15 and between the heights of about 49 and 60. Um, that big cluster there. So that probably means that this is, a classroom full of middle school age students. But they're between 10 and 15, and they're all about, 5 feet tall, a little over, between 4 and 5 feet tall. There are two outliers out here. These are people who are much older and, taller than the students. Those are probably teachers, if you wanted to make an inference. And then also this little outlier here, this person's kind of taller than all the other kids too, so that would also be considered an outlier. All right, let's keep moving along. All right, which statements are true? Are there two clusters here? Is 212 an outlier? And there are three outliers. So we need to see which of those statements are true. For there are two clusters, that is absolutely true. You can see them in the blue circles here. Again, clusters where many points are together. Outliers, there are three outliers, so number 3 is also true. Let's look at number 2, though. The point 212 would be right here, and that is it within the cluster. It is not an outlier, so statement true is not true. All right, so why won't it go? So that is actually going to be it for today. Quicker video today. Again, it's just a quick review of those words and applying them to the scatter plots that we've been doing. So I'm going to now set you guys free to go do the Pearson. It's a little bit longer because there's a shorter video. And then I will be on Zoom at 10 if you guys have questions. All right, bye-bye.